Hey everyone! Today I decided I was going to do my makeup for you, and I'm going to kind of use my everyday staple favorite makeup items. So I was debating whether just going through everything that I have and just showing it to you and showing you my favorites, but I think I'll just go ahead and do my makeup and show you what I put on my face every day. This is going to be more of a lot fancier than I typically do every day, but the foundation, the powders, the eyebrow pencils, different things like that are really just things I do every day, and it's a look that I commonly do. And I decided just to go ahead and do my makeup because there's definitely a star of the show that I just picked up. I haven't tried, and I absolutely need to show it to you because you need to run out and get it. This is one thing I'm going to tell you, you need to run out and get. So without further ado, we'll just get going here. So first thing that I did is I did prime my face just now. I thought it could set in when as I was talking, and it's the Becca Backlight priming filter. I don't know what I called this in my last video, a serum, I don't know what I called it, but it's a Becca Backlight priming filter primer, and it just gives you that nice smooth base and a little bit of illumination. So I was having such a good skin week for the past couple weeks, and I did use self tanner yesterday, so I definitely feel like I look kind of more blotchy, as self tanner will do that. It'll cling to anything. But my skin did freak out a little bit. I'm back on some, well, I'm back taking estrogen. I have not started progesterone yet, but I'm back on estrogen as per doctor's orders. So my skin does have bumps on it that I didn't have, and it's been a little more crazy, but that's okay. Rather than waiting for it to all clear up, I just figured we would do this video because, you know, it's problems that everybody has on a normal everyday basis. So, you know, why cover that up? So the first thing I'm going to do is start with this, and it's the Giorgio Armani Corrector. It's like it's a peach corrector. There's two shades in this. There's a more pink one, and this is the more peach. This was really expensive, and I don't necessarily recommend it, but I'm using it so I can use it up. What I definitely would recommend, what works amazingly, and that you can get a sample of at Sephora, is the Naked Skin Corrector. So this is the concealer that I always use. This is a brand new one that I ordered from the VIB sale. And if you get the peach shade, it's the corrector. So go ahead and try a sample of that. It dries down really nicely, and it really covers. I guess before I put that on there, maybe I should zoom you in. Ooh. I have very dark kind of purple brown tones under my eyes. I ran into a pole as a child. I'm not even joking. I ran into a pole, like a metal pole in our basement, and my head swole up, and I'm forever dark now under my eyes. So for me, concealing my under eye was always a lot of products, a lot of work. You get cakey really fast under there. So as soon as I started using a corrector, and the next time I will purchase the Urban Decay corrector, it's so good. Once I started using that, and then just the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, everything changed, and now I don't spend forever, and it's not, you know, a big deal to conceal underneath, because I had tried every concealer and everyone's different, and a lot of people don't have such an issue as I do, or they don't have a whole lot to conceal. A little dot on my nose, so I'm going to put some there. Take away the redness. Okay, so it's the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer was probably my second choice, but since I discovered the Urban Decay, I haven't gone back to anything else. So I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I use this a lot. I often will use the Urban Decay All Nighter. And I'll use that with a damp beauty blender because it's very, very high coverage. Sometimes on problematic skin days, kind of like I have right now, I will mix the two together just to share it out with this. I love the color of this, and it's color 4.0. So I'm just going to shake this up, and I'm going to be applying it with the IT Cosmetics number 101 Blurring Foundation Brush. And I'm just going to put a pump on the back of my hand. It's really, really thin and easy to blend, and actually has a lot of coverage. So it's buildable. You don't have to go crazy with it, but because it's so thin, it's just really easy to wear every day. So if I reach for a foundation, it's typically this one. I'm just going to buff this in all over. Get it on my earring because I want to go right into my ear. I don't want to leave a blank spot. Should have never jinked myself saying that my skin was nice. But that's okay. Everybody has their skin ups and skin downs. It's been really good lately, so I'm just gonna I put about half more on there just because I am having a rough day. And I almost really think that when you're having a skin breakout, putting on a self tanner is like the worst thing you can do. It amplifies whatever problem you have going on. It makes it look like 10 times worse. Whatever I have left on the back of my hand, I'll just blend down my neck. I'm just really making sure that it's all blended in. If there's one thing I can spend forever doing is blending my makeup. And I really, really, really like this brush a lot. Okay, that's done. So from there I'm going to go in with my concealer. This video is going to be long with all the blending I do. I'll have to see how I can cut it down. So this is brand new, repurchased from the VIB sale. A lot of what I'm using is just things that I always repurchase right before I run out of them. So they're tried and true. Put a little bit down my nose. This just helps with any redness that you may get. And I'm going to blend it in with my beauty blender. I will be doing a makeup video on quick makeup, out the door makeup, mom makeup if you will, but it's really not, it's for anybody. My skin's flaking off too from the retinol that I use, but that's good. Nothing will get the breakouts under control quite like the retinol. So we'll just let that be. And I'll exfoliate tonight. Oop. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I posted today, I finally got my hands on the Skin Ink Renewal Peel? I'm not sure what it's called. Anyways, it's on my Instagram, and every time that there was a VIB sale, I would go to order it, and it was always sold out. Like, it sells out really, really fast. So I'm so excited to finally have that, and I should use it tonight. It'll at least exfoliate off the dark spots left by the tanner. Going right into the corners of your eyes here to really brighten that, like carrying it up, is really important so you're not walking around with a shadow there and it being dark. And sometimes what I'll do, I lost my concealer, sorry. Just because I'm so anal with shadows in my eyes being so dark, is I'll just go right where I know it's the darkest, right there, and just put a little bit more. I did see a dermatologist once about what I could do to fix the darkness under there, and they said it's basically just dried blood from being a child, and they'd have to like secrete, I don't know. I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. Now that I found a good concealer, I'm fine. Okay, so now I'm just going to set that, and what I'm going to use is just the Laura Mercier translucent powder. You get this, you buy this, and it's going to last you such a long time. I'm going to use, I typically will use this e.l.f. Blush brush. These are great, really soft brushes. It fits just right underneath your eye. I'm just going to tap it under there. A little bit of my T-zone. Every day, whether I wear foundation or not, I'll always go in with my Laura Mercier Loose Minerals, and this is in Rich Vanilla, and I love this. I just shake it a little bit so that I get some on, just like that. And I use my Sephora 55 airbrush, swirl it in, tap it off, and I start right around the contour where I don't mind it being a little darker. And I just go all around. Whether you're using this or you're using the Jane Ardel, they're mineral powders, so the more that you buff them into your face, the more kind of illuminated that they're going to get. Just to the sides of my nose. And down my neck. So that's done. Love that stuff. I can't live without that stuff. Now I'm going to take my very beaten up Anastasia contour palette. And this is just an angled crown brush. And I go into the contour shade and a little bit into the shade next to it, that I don't know what it's called. Not the darkest. The one on the end here I don't use a whole lot, and it's more red. This one's more brown, and then you have your contour shade in the middle. And I just gently kind of do circles. And I try not to bring it in too far. I really try to stop about halfway with it. And just create a little shadow. Same thing. Going from the top of your ear down your cheekbone. I need to switch hands, it feels weird. And then all along in my temples. I will sometimes use the Bobbi Brown bronzer, sometimes I'll just reach for this, it just kind of depends. And just along my jawline. And a little bit down my neck. Now I have a love-hate with contouring my nose. I think I'm just going to grab a little angled brush. I don't know how many times, I don't know. I like using a cream bronzer for my nose and then kind of dusting over it with a powder. But I have severe allergies, and I just find that as I blow my nose throughout the day, all the contour does is really make my nose look like I have a straight nose, but it makes it almost look crooked sometimes. So I have a love-hate. I don't worry about doing it, honestly, too perfectly. I don't want it too perfect, and I don't want it to stand out too much either. And I just bring it in like that. And everything I do, I always go back with my Sephora 55 and I blend everything. So going back and just making sure that there's no edges showing. Like that. And more than contouring my nose, my favorite trick really is to highlight the sides of it. So if you will, I'm just going to scrape off a lot of the product on this applicator. So I'm not going where I contoured, I'm going on the other side of it. And if you bring light to that area, it almost pinches your nose in better than contouring it, in my opinion. Because again, I don't like to see where I've contoured it. I don't want to see that line, so if you can bring light in there instead, it'll do the job for you. And then just going to blend over it a little bit, like that. Okay. So I'm going to do my blush. And I'm going to take the Becca palette that Jaclyn Hill did, and I'm just doing, I don't know what I'll do. I typically will mix this one in with this one. I'm going to use a fluffy blush brush and just kind of patting it. Like that. And I don't typically highlight my face. I don't love highlighters. I think I mentioned that before. I like more of a matte highlighter with like a little bit of a shimmer. I'll just go in with this on my face. It's just my fan brush, and it's what's ever left over from my date night video where I would have used my, it's called Beiges, and it's by Bobbi Brown, and it's a shimmer brick. And that one's kind of a hard one to get your hands on. I don't know if you'll find it in Sephora. It was purchased in the States. But I like it because it's not too much. So, okay. Next I'm going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. So this is all the parts that you would have seen kind of in my date night video that I did. It was so fun to go out. Oh, but I am such a loser because the ballet ended at 10 o'clock. My husband really wanted to go to a bar or go somewhere, you know. There were so many people everywhere downtown. We're so not used to that, living where we live. And all I wanted to do was go home and go to bed. I'm so boring. It's like the one time I get out and all I want to do is go home and go to bed. But I'm a homebody. I really am. I'm so happy at home. It's really funny. I like doing barbecues. I like, you know, having our friends over or going there. And it's fun to go downtown. Probably more in the summer when it's warm. You'd be more inclined to stay out later, but I'm so boring. Okay. Bobbi Brown Toast looks like this. And I'm just going to use this as a transition shade today with my IT Cosmetics Fluffy Crease Brush. And I'm just doing a little bit in the crease. Most days when I do absolutely nothing, I'll usually just put a little bit of this in my crease, put on some mascara, and go. I promise to do a video like that next. And one of you were asking me about a skincare video that I really want to do, and I am out of my skincare, which is bad news for my skin. I'm gonna have to lean on some of the other things that I have. I still have about half of my regimen, but the other half has been out of stock for quite a while, and I'm waiting before I can order it again. So I'll survive. I have a lot of stuff. It'll be a good opportunity to use up other stuff. But yeah, I can't really do a video until I reorder all of that stuff. And I'll add some new things in next time too. So it will be coming, I just don't know when. If there's any videos that you guys want to see or you want me to do, just let me know. Just comment below and I'll do them. So that's all I'm going to do there. I brought out just the first Urban Decay palette because I wanted to use Buck, which is just a medium matte shade brown. And I'm just going to go in the crease a little bit with that. And just keep blending it. It's so important to really blend everything out when you're doing your eyeshadow. When in doubt, just keep blending and you'll be okay. I want to do a video just on quick makeup, and I also want to do a really good kind of drugstore one as well. Because that's always fun. It's always fun to find new gems at the drugstore. And I'm just cleaning up my edges. Okay, drum roll please. This is the star of the show. I'm so excited about this. So this is called Sweet Heat and it's by MAC. And I don't know when these came out. I don't go to MAC very often. I'm always ordering online at Sephora. So it looks like this. It is so pretty. It is so pretty. Let me swatch that. Oh, right? It's gorgeous. So these you can use wet or dry. They're more expensive than all the other shadows. What is this called? Extra Dimension Eyeshadow Sweet Heat. So I'm going to take my 217. Pat it off in there, and I'm going to apply this onto my lid. And I can't wait to see it. It's so pretty. Oh. Okay. I had to stop the video. I had like a full-on coughing fit. This eyeshadow just gives me so much life. It is so pretty. Look at that. Oh. This is beautiful. This would be so pretty with just like a gel liner, just smudged out. I like the Marc Jacobs one. That is so gorgeous. I'm going to go back into the Urban Decay Naked Buck and just run a little bit underneath my eyes. Just a little. And going into Virgin, I'm just going to put a little bit into the corners. And a little on my brow bone. Okay, so for fun, we're going to do a little bit of the Sweet Heat wet. So I'm going to take my MAC Fix Plus and I'm going to spray my brush And what this is going to do is just give us extra dimension right in the center of the lid. I'm just patting that. And you can see right away it picks it all up and just gives more of a wet look and more dimension. You absolutely need to get this shadow. Oh, it's so pretty. Isn't that stunning? We need to have a moment just for this eyeshadow. Oh, that is gorgeous. Let me zoom you in so you can really see. So you can see just how shimmery and how pretty that is. Zoom you out. I always do this in order to dry it. And that's just going to melt the makeup all together. So I'm going to do lips before anything else. This is Vibe by Bare Minerals. I'm just going to line my lips. And smudge them together. And I'm just going to take my finger and pat over it just to mute it out a little bit and blend it into my lips. And I'm going to take one of my favorite lipsticks. This is Bobbi Brown's Salmon. It's a beautiful peach. And I love doing peach lipsticks with a kind of warm brown mauve lip liner. Love that. Especially with an eye like this. It's got to be, like, if this is not one of my signature looks, then I don't know what is. So I'm going to do eyeliner, mascara, and lashes, and then I'm going to come back because you've already seen it and I don't want the video to be too crazy long, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have a feeling that this video is going to be very choppy, so my apologies, but I'm going to have to do some editing magic. My camera died. I feel like it always dies, and it was fully charged, so don't know what happened there. So I just added a little bit of Buxom Celeste gloss over my lips just to shine them up a little bit. I did my lashes and what did I do? My lashes and my eyeliner because I did show it in my last video, and I thought if we could cut down the time, then why not? I'm like out of breath from running up and down the stairs. Okay, let's do this quickly before it dies again. Going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in soft brown, I'm going to show you how I create brows out of no brows. I have such well, the hairs are very, they are there, but they're a little bit sparse and they're very light, especially on top. So what I could do is tint them, which I used to, but, you know, I fill them in every day, so I pretty much know what I'm doing. So what I do is I go from where I want it to start, so I want it to come out a little bit more into there, and I just draw a line like I have, and I basically just flick up following that line. So this is going to be very hard to do, I feel, on camera, but we'll give it a go and we'll see. You'll get the gist anyways. Just flicking up and doing really, really tiny strokes. You can see what I'm doing. And I'm just following it and doing short little strokes again. So if I wasn't doing this on camera and I was doing it, you know, to go shopping or go for lunch or go out with friends, during the day, like, I wouldn't have probably used eyelashes, and I really could throw this look together quite quickly. When you're not talking, I mean, it's a huge difference. But yeah, it's one of my favorite looks. All my looks are pretty much a variation of something like this. I love neutral colors. I love sparkly browns. I have blue eyes, so obviously that's what works well for me. If you have hazel eyes or green eyes, a really pretty gold on the lid is really beautiful. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other eye, so just drawing a line. So you can see I have hairs here and you can see they're sparse. So I'm just going to draw a little line. Like that. I really want to go and get microblading done just so I don't have to do this every day. But if I end up pregnant, I won't be able to. You can't do it while you're pregnant, so that would be okay with me though, obviously. So I'm back on some medicine and I go to the doctor next Wednesday, and if everything looks good, he said then we'll schedule my next transfer, so I'll have another go at it. I don't know if you watched my video from when I returned to Florida, but I was talking about the Neutrogena. It was yellow sunscreen. Loved that sunscreen, and I can't find it here, of course. So I'm gonna have to make a trip to the States this summer and go grab some. All of the favorite things that I find, I can never find in Canada. If we could move to the States, I would be so happy. My southern heart could then shine. I would just love it. Just the weather alone and all the shopping that you can do. I'd be a very happy girl. And then I pretty much just look straight ahead in my mirror and I just kind of even things out. So that's that. One product I really love is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. This is really great. I don't really ever hear anyone talk about this, but I love running it through my brows after, or today when I ran Annika to school, I just had this through my bare eyebrows. So when you have bare eyebrows, it'll give you a little something more. And running it through after, like I am right now, it just kind of pulls out the texture of each hair. And it just makes it more kind of noticeable so that my eyebrows look more fluffy and more natural. And it doesn't hold it, you know, intensely well into place. If you want more hold, I would just go back in with like the clear brow gel by Anastasia. But for me, for most days, this is just fine. And it just fluffs them up really pretty. So there's our final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already, and that way you won't miss any new videos that I upload. I'm hoping to upload one this weekend as well, so stay tuned for more. I'm going to link all of the products that I used today in the description box. You can go there and just have reference to anything that I used, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!